A citizen's arrest is permitted in Georgia, but only if a felony is committed. For the story that I'm about to share with you today, that was not the case. Hannah Payne, 25, of Clayton County, Georgia, decided to take the law into her own hands on May 7, 2019, which resulted in the death of 62-year-old Kenneth Herring. Let's get into it. On the evening of May 7, 2019, Mr. Kenneth Herring ran a red light and hit an 18-wheeler with his red Dodge pickup truck. Two people, Hannah Payne and Terry Robinson, who was a correctional officer with the Georgia Department of Corrections, witnessed the accident and pulled over to assist. Terry Robinson testified that Mr. Herring acted disoriented and his eyes were reddish-orange in color. He believed, based on his training, that Mr. Herring was showing some signs of a diabetic attack.
Hey, we have an accident up here by Clark House and Forest Parkway. Clark House and Forest Parkway. It's a truck. Unfortunately, hit a vehicle, and I'm looking at the guy now. He's pretty good. He's moving and everything. But we had a truck that had an incident with a vehicle. Clark House and Forest Parkway.
What kind of truck is it?
It's a semi-tractor trailer, and it's a pickup truck.
A red Dakota?
Yes, red Dakota.
Okay, does it say that you want to start it injured?
But you need assistance? You get an ambulance? Sir. Yes, sir, it's okay. You need an ambulance, something? He's not saying anything. So you okay? Yeah.
Okay, is he saying that he needs assistance? He needs an ambulance or no?
All right. Sir, do you need assistance? You need an ambulance, okay? Well, I mean, you with this, well, are you okay?
We have to leave him around for this.
Yes, I'm aware. I'm a state officer. I work for GDC. So, yeah, that's why I pulled over.
Did any airbags
She was there. She was there. Nah, still there.
I'm sorry?
No, man, I'm talking to the gentleman who drives the tractor trailer truck. And he was, the car swerving in. You don't even know what happened. He fell asleep. So you need to be here today. Don't start it. Don't start it because you're smoking. Sir, this spot, right there, right there.
Are they obstructing the roadway?
I saw from the, I saw the car coming. So it just that. And then I see the light was green. Yes, you had it green. You had it green.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
I'm not going to be out there, okay?
Yes, ma'am. We'll apologize for that, ma'am.
No, that's okay. Thank you.
Okay.
After about 15 minutes waiting for the police to arrive, Mr. Herring, for some reason, returns to his truck and leaves the scene of the accident.
Clinton County 911, what is the location of your emergency?
Clark Howe and Forest Parkway. We had a call earlier, and it's been over like 20 minutes now, and no police or no ambulance has shown up at this location. And like I said, it's a ball, a red Dakota, and a semi-tractor truck. And none has showed up at this moment in time.
Okay, I just see the call. We already have someone on the way.
The reason why I'm asking that because the driver who caused the accident, I think he's impaired. Something's going on with him. And so the thing about we're trying to tell him is to turn his vehicle off from the smoke, and he's not following command. So that's why I'm asking to see what if he's moving his vehicle. He's going to drive off now. He's driving off. He's driving. driving off. Take a picture of the driving light. Take a picture, quick. He's driving off.
Where's he going towards?
Yeah, he's heading towards Riverdale Road, Upper Riverdale Road. That's where he's heading.
What kind of vehicle is it? Is
He's
that
in
the
the red
Dakota?
Dakota. Get out the road, sir. Get out the road. Hurry up.
What's the tag number?
Red Dakota, front end damage to the red Dakota. Did you get a picture of the driver light? That's tag. Oh man, let's get out the road. Get out the road. He's heading towards Riverdale Road, heading towards 285 area. Riverdale Road. He's heading west on Forest Parkway towards the area.
Give me one moment.
Okay, good. Go. He's gone. Now the other driver who was and she's going to take a picture of the yeah, he's fled. He's an African American. Two vehicles. His vehicle and the truck. The truck is still here. The driver of the truck is still here. And so step on the road. Just step on the road, please. So he's in a red Dakota. It's a 96 model, give or take 97 model. He's an older black gentleman, gray hair, blue shirt on, and front end damage, heavily front end damage in front. Heavily front end. I knew he was going to do something. If I was in uniform, I would have picked a C, but I didn't. So,
Okay. So he went.
he's heading towards that area. If we get a policeman up that way, I knew it was traffic. I knew it was an incident up that way. Hopefully, there's another officers on that see him.
Give me one moment.
I knew it was RHA 5933. There it was. RHA 5933. RHA 5933.
I got it. Robert Henry Adams 5933.
Yes. It's okay. She got it. It's all there. Yeah. Hopefully the lady in the Jeep was almost in the residence, so she turned around and she went after him. So she's going to take a picture of his vehicle and stuff. Can't even believe it. I knew he was something wrong with it, guy. I knew it. God. This is crazy. Yeah. Well, you're not going to get far. This truck's going to overheat. This truck is going to overheat. Okay, ma'am, you have my number. If anything, y'all can hit me back. But I'm here with the driver of the truck, the semi-truck, and everything. So my number, you have it.
Okay.
Thank you,
right.
ma'am.
Thank you.
All right.
Hannah jumps in her Jeep to catch up with Mr. Herring. Meanwhile, she called 911 and a dispatcher informed her to go back to the scene until an officer arrived and to stop following Mr. Herring. Instead, Hannah continued to follow Mr. Herring. Her reason, she claimed that she was worried that Mr. Herring was going to cause another accident.
Clayton County 911, what's the location of your emergency?
Yes, ma'am. I'm on Clark Howell and Forest Parkway, the intersection. I actually called about 20 minutes ago for an accident, and no one has shown up yet. But I am under the impression that the guy that caused the accident, who ran the red light, is drunk, and he's gotten back in his car, and he's looking like he's trying to drive away.
Okay, can you get his tag number?
Hold on. He's driving away. It's a red Dodge Dakota. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Okay, so he is going west, down down Forest Parkway.
Okay, so you couldn't get a tag number?
No, but I'm catching up to him right now.
Okay, ma'am, we actually do not want you to chase him. We just want you to be safe. And it's
I
not
understand.
to chase him.
I understand 100%. I'm just going to get the tag number, if nothing else. But I am going west down Forest Parkway. And we are almost up to him. I mean, his radiator is busted and everything. So I honestly have no idea how he's driving the truck the way that it is. Okay. It is a Georgia Tag. License plate is RHA as in apple, 4859.
Okay. So if you can go back to that location where the incident happened, it's because someone is actually on the way to you guys now.
Okay, well, there's a police officer there, but he is drunk. I'm sorry that I'm here to tell you I'm not going to follow him because he is going to cause another accident. So I will stay behind him until an officer can get to us, but until then, I'm not moving.
Yeah, no, that's what I want. I want you guys to go back to the location where it happened, and an officer will be out there momentarily, okay? Ma'am. Ma'am. Yes.
Ma'am, he just pulled the trigger of my gun in my hand while he was.
Ma'am, you were not supposed to follow him.
He hit my car.
Okay, you got the tag number.
There's a police officer down the street. Tell them to come up here now. He pulled the trigger on my gun after he attacked me. Tell the police officer to turn around from the 285 entrance and come up here immediately. And now he needs paramedics. I'm safe, but he ain't. Can you say? You say what happened?
Okay, ma'am, where are you guys located now? Ma'am.
I don't know. I did. No, I don't.
Okay, ma'am.
There's a police officer here now.
Okay, speak with them.
All right.
Mr. Herring later died at the hospital with a gunshot wound to the stomach less than an hour after he arrived. When law enforcement arrived on the scene, Hannah had changed out of her bloody shirt and was arguing with some of the witnesses, trying to plead her reason of self-defense while law enforcement was taking measures to save Kenneth's life until medical help arrives.
Can you tell me anything? I'm good. Can you see there's something happening, please? Come on, sir. Stay with me, okay? Just keep breathing. Hey, what's your name? Just keep breathing, man, okay? I know the words. Keep breathing. Come on, like you, okay? Before they come down off your phone, okay?
That's a murder.
Come on, stay with me, man. Keep breathing, okay? $39 or anything? He's probably got a wallet in his pocket. He's... Is that phone below you? Yeah.
I'm assuming so. So stay with me, man. Hang tight. Come on, sir. Just keep breathing, okay? Keep breathing. I'm strong breathing. We got you now. We got you now. That's them coming up right now.
Somewhat, yes. Yes. It's going to be the belly button. Some area.
Come on, man. Keep breathing, okay? Just focus on me right now. Keep breathing. That's all you gotta do.
Hey. Hey. Hey.
Come on, keep your eyes open. Let me see you breathe.
Breathe for
Keep
you,
breathing, man.
Stay with us.
Hey,
Come
come on,
on,
keep
son.
breathing.
Stay with me.
When Hannah arrived at the police station, it was clear that she was not remorseful and did not think that she had done anything wrong. While waiting to be interviewed, she even took time to remove her fake fingernails. Photos were taken, and for me, they were not as serious as Hannah claimed. Honestly, they also did not look as if they were just made either, and a couple of them, I could not see what she was claiming. Hannah was charged with malice murder. On June 3, 2019, she was released on a $100,000 bond and required to wear an ankle monitor. June 20, 2019, Hannah's charges were upgraded to 2 counts of felony murder, 1 count of malice murder, 3 counts of weapon possession during the commission of a crime, and aggravated assault and false imprisonment. After 4 years, the trial finally begins on December 6, 2023 and lasted for about a week. The trial was delayed due to COVID several times, and even on one occasion in 2022, it was delayed because Hannah's attorney, Matthew Tucker, failed to show up in court because he said that he was in the hospital due to a stroke. This resulted in Hannah not having legal representation, and the trial again had to be delayed. However, Judge Shauna Rooks Malone was not happy because Mr. Tucker did not notify the court, and there was not any indication that he had had a stroke. Because of prior improper behavior that she had experienced with this attorney, the judge even suggested to Hannah that she get an attorney that would give her a zealous defense. A grievance was also filed by the judge to the state bar on Mr. Tucker's behavior and failing to notify the court of his absences, and he was also held in contempt of court. The prosecution team presented several eyewitnesses, and they testified that Hannah was the aggressor, and when Hannah approached Mr. Herring's vehicle, she was cursing at him and punching him through his window. She then pulled her gun and threatened to shoot Mr. Herring. Day 4, Hannah chooses to testify in her own defense. She was asked by her attorney to give a play-by-play on what happened that resulted her in shooting Mr. Herring.
Was walking up to him, and I am explaining that I'm on the phone with the police and that they wanted us to go back to the original accident site. It's loud. We're near an interstate. It's a busy road, and I can't hear what he's saying to me. But as I got closer, I heard him asking me, "Who the F are you?" And I told him that I was nobody, but that I had the police on the phone. And that they wanted us to go back to the original accident site.
Okay. So you'd explain that to him. Did you have the phone close to you? Did you have it away from you? Where was the phone?
It was kind of not extended, but partially of the way.
Okay. And what happened then?
Apparently I was close enough for him to reach out the car, and he knocked my phone out of my hand, and he grabbed me by my wrist, and he pulled me into the vehicle.
Okay. Now, you said apparently you got too close to the vehicle. Did it appear to you you were too close to the vehicle, or?
I wasn't thinking that I needed adequate space to stay away from him or anybody or anything.
And then you said he knocked the phone out of your hand,
Yes.
and then he grabbed you. You said one was on your wrist, and where was the other hand?
And originally he had just grabbed my wrist. And he had pulled me in the car, and at some point my shirt had gotten grabbed.
Okay.
And he...
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
He was pulling my wrist, and he pulled me in the vehicle, and he kept yelling at me, telling me, "I have something for you." And he used, "I have something for you, bitch." And he's leaning, and he's reaching, and he's pulling. And at this point, I remember that I'm sorry.
Take your time.
I remember that he had let go of my wrist, and he grabbed me by the back of my neck. And it was as if he was trying to kind of keep a hold of me. The entire time I'm telling him, I'm thinking, I'm still have to be on the phone with the police. They have to know. I'm telling him to let me go. And that's when he hits the gas, and we go forward. I'm still in the car at this point, and while it only may have been a few steps or a few feet, when you are being held against your will and you have no idea what's ahead of you, and you're looking down, it felt like it lasted forever. And I just remember, it was like I saw my life flash before my eyes, and I thought I was going to go down Riverdale Road, hanging out the side of this car.
And the whole time, are you trying to get away from this situation?
I'm trying to pull away from him, yes.
And how did you do that?
My entire body was up against the vehicle, and I'm just trying my hardest to push away with any part of me that I can, whether it was my arms or my knees, trying to just put distance in between me and the vehicle, thinking I could get away from it, and was unsuccessful.
And at one part, you hear yourself screaming, "Get the F out of the car." What was going on then?
I'm thinking that I have a better chance of not being drugged if he's not in the vehicle.
While in the back of the police car, Hannah could be heard talking to the officer, telling him that she warned Mr. Herring that she had a gun and that she would shoot him. She also stated that she did not want to pull the trigger. When prosecution questioned about these statements she made, her response was that she was overwhelmed and she did not know what was going on. Yeah, okay, whatever. She knew exactly what was going on and that she was the one that pulled the trigger. I have to say the prosecution team did an excellent job in prosecuting this case. Closing arguments were delivered by District Attorney Tracy Graham Lawson, and I thought she did a wonderful job in how she presented her last statements or her closing arguments in this case.
I mean, not that it has anything to do with it, but my entire life until I was 18 and my grandfather passed away, I was going to be a police officer. And on May 7, 2019, she got her opportunity. And as a result, 62-year-old Kenneth Herring, who was unarmed and minding his own business, was chased down, detained, shot, and murdered by this defendant. And how do we know she shot him? Because we watched Officer Rich's body cam. And when he asked, "Who shot Mr. Herring?" she said, "I did." And you don't get the death penalty for committing a traffic infraction. And you know how much entitlement you have to chase somebody down, detain them, jump out your car, and run toward a stranger. He didn't know her. He didn't know why she was approaching his car, and demand that they do anything. He didn't have to listen to her. He didn't have to do anything she said. As he continued to ask her, "Who are you?" And the audacity to come here and take that stand and blame everybody else. Several eyewitnesses that Attorney Tucker discussed. And you heard direct evidence based on things they saw and what they observed on May 7, 2019. Now, even though Attorney Tucker tried to twist their words, misquote their statements, they all stood firm in what they saw. And what was consistent between Ms. McCraney, Ms. Rosser, Ms. Jackson, and Mr. Williams was that there was only one aggressor on May 7, 2019. And that was the defendant. Now, you heard testimony from the defendant yesterday. And, she stated that she never heard 911 tell her to not chase. And then when I went through her testimony and the transcript of the 911 call, they told her 4 different times, either twice to go back to the incident location. And they told her not to follow him. But she said based on her perception and what she believed they meant was that she should follow him as long as she remained safe. What Mr. Herring did, once the defendant cornered him, aggressively approached his vehicle, and pulled out that firearm, doesn't matter. He was within every right he had to do whatever he did to defend himself. Because there was only one person on May 7, 2019 that was entitled to defend themselves, and it wasn't the defendant. And blocked his access, she was committing a felony. And if you are committing a felony, you are not entitled to self-defense. On May 7, 2019, you heard testimony from Terry Robinson. There was an initial accident that occurred on Clark Howell. You heard testimony that accident did not involve this defendant. She had made no contact with the defendant. There was no argument with her and the defendant. Her vehicle was not struck. That accident had nothing to do with her. She didn't get close enough, she stated, to smell any alcohol or the odor of alcohol in his breath. She just interjected herself in a situation that had nothing to do with her. Now, what she wants you to believe is that when Terry Robinson was speaking in the background and he said, "Go, go, 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 go," that meant for her to jump in her car, chase down Mr. Herring, block his car off, apprehend him, and detain him. And we know that's simply not true. Because what you hear on the 911 call with Mr. Robinson, the only thing he says, and the only thing he said was, "Take a picture of the tag." Now, if we are to believe that take a picture of the tag means this, and you also heard from Terry Robinson that the defendant was already in her vehicle. She was already in motion. She was already prepared to do what she felt she was supposed to do in this situation. And then you hear the 911 call. And you hear the 911 operator tell her, once they realize she's chasing Mr. Herring, "Ma'am, we advise that you do not chase or follow." And she said she understood 100%. But yet she still continued. And you heard testimony from Ashley Jackson that she was speeding down Forest Parkway so fast, weaving in and out of traffic. I mean, she is chasing Mr. Herring, almost causing accidents, almost running other people off the road. And you heard the defendant say, and when I finally caught up to him, I had an opportunity. Because in her mind, she was going to stop that vehicle by any means necessary. And she did. And it's unfortunate for Mr. Herring. And you also heard testimony of the rage she had, how angry she was, how aggressive she was. But when she stood on the stand, when she got on the stand yesterday, everything was so calm. And when her attorney is asking her questions, she has every answer detailed, laid out, how she was just a people person. She was just trying to do things to help. She wanted to help all the other drivers on the road. And when I was asking her questions, she became very combative and aggressive. And it was always my perspective, what I thought. No, the 911 officer, dispatcher did not tell me to not follow, not chase. Because she knows best. And at the end of that 911 call, after she shot Mr. Herring, her whole attitude, I'm safe, but he ain't. But she wants you to believe that she was concerned and she wanted an ambulance and she wanted to assist and she wanted to help and make sure he was okay. She didn't care about Mr. Herring. The defendant had multiple opportunities to do something else. To go back to the incident location. To go back home. Not pursue. This had nothing to do with her. And the idea that she could command somebody to do anything. The only person that introduced a deadly weapon in this situation was the defendant. And but for her introducing that firearm, Mr. Herring would still be here today. You can't poke a bear and then when the bear turns around and attack you, want to claim self-defense. It doesn't work that way. She should have minded her own business.
Impact statements were given by Kenneth's sisters and brother, with each asking the judge to give Hannah life without parole. Kenneth had 2 children and grandchildren that would never get to see him again. Surprisingly, Hannah's parents did not speak on her behalf, and Hannah also chose not to say anything before her sentence. I am sure it is due to her appealing her case. However, a friend and co-worker addressed the court on her behalf, asking the court to show mercy and understand who the real Hannah Payne is when determining her sentence. This case was viewed by many as race-related. Both families received death threats after Hannah's sentence. District Attorney Tasha Mosley spoke after the sentence, stating that there was no evidence that race played a role in the trial. The threats were investigated and charges were promised for those who may have been involved. This case is more like that of Travis McMichael, Greg McMichael, and William Bryan, who were convicted of murdering Ahmaud Arbery in 2021. Both cases were tried in Georgia and both involved well-meaning white people who tried to help the police after black men committed low-level crimes. Both Hannah Payne and Travis McMichael were armed. In both cases, the black man grabbed the white person's gun and there was a tug-of-war. Both ended with black men dying of gunshot wounds, and both cases ended up with whites who had lived honorable lives and had never been in trouble before, being sentenced to stiff prison sentences. Before sentencing, Hannah's attorney, Matt Tucker, claimed that Hannah was trying to do the right thing when Mr. Herring grabbed her gun. It is a shame that somebody who has good in her heart is no longer going to want to help anybody because, for a lack of a better saying, no good deed goes unpunished, Tucker said as he called on the judge for leniency in Payne's case. On December 12, 2023, the jury returned a verdict and found Hannah guilty on all 8 counts. The sentence was handed down by Clayton County Superior Court Judge Jules Scott on December 13, 2023. Hannah will spend life in prison with the possibility of parole after 43 years. This case has drawn considerable attention not only for its legal implications, but also for the complexities surrounding the events leading to Herring's tragic death. May he rest in peace. Alright guys, that is it for me. If you made it to the end of the video, I thank you for watching.